How much power does a general in the U.S. military have? More than you think. Let me tell you about General Harrison at Fort Campbell in 2018. I was a staff sergeant in logistics when this happened. Our base had been dealing with a corrupt defense contractor for months, overcharging for supplies, delivering substandard equipment, bribing procurement officers. Everyone knew it. But the contracts were locked in for 3 years. The contractor's CEO, some billionaire named Thompson, thought he was untouchable, had connections in Congress, lobbyists in Washington, the whole 9 yards. When complaints started reaching the Pentagon, he'd just make some calls and they'd disappear. Then Thompson made a fatal mistake. He tried to bribe General Harrison directly, walked into the general's office during a base inspection, handed him an envelope with $50,000 cash, said it was a consulting fee for future contract opportunities. Thompson figured every military officer had a price. General Harrison looked at the money, looked at Thompson, and pressed his desk intercom. "Colonel Davis, please bring security to my office immediately." Thompson laughed. "General, I think you misunderstand. I have friends in very high places. Senator Williams personally approved these contracts. One phone call from me and—" "Mr. Thompson," the general interrupted, "you seem to misunderstand something fundamental about military authority." Security arrived. The general handed them the envelope. "This gentleman just attempted to bribe a federal officer. Place him under arrest." Thompson started panicking, pulled out his phone to call his senator. General Harrison nodded to the security chief who confiscated the phone. "You can't do this. I have rights. I demand to speak to someone higher than you." The general smiled coldly. "Mr. Thompson, within the confines of this military installation, I am the highest authority. I command 27,000 soldiers. I control a budget of $2.8 billion annually. I can declare martial law in this county if I deem it necessary for military readiness." He walked around his desk, towering over Thompson. "Your senator friend? He has no authority here. Your lobbyists? They can't set foot on federal military property without my permission. Your lawyers? They'll have to wait until I decide to transfer you to civilian authorities." The general picked up his phone, dialed a number. "This is General Harrison. I need CID investigators at my office immediately. Also contact the FBI Financial Crimes Division. We have a bribery case." Thompson tried to negotiate. "Look, General, maybe we got off on the wrong foot. That money, it was just a campaign contribution for your retirement fund." "Colonel Davis," the general called to his aide, "add attempted bribery of a federal officer to the charges. Also document his attempt to retroactively justify the crime." Within 2 hours, Thompson was in federal custody. The general had called the base JAG office, who contacted federal prosecutors. No phone calls to senators could help him now, but the general wasn't finished. He launched a full investigation into Thompson's company, subpoenaed every contract, every invoice, every communication, used military intelligence resources to trace the money trail. Turns out Thompson had been defrauding the government for years, overcharging by 300% on basic supplies, selling defective body armor that could have gotten soldiers killed, bribing procurement officers across multiple bases. The general's investigation uncovered $200 million in fraud. Thompson got 15 years in federal prison. His company went bankrupt. 3 senators who took his money resigned in disgrace. The base got new suppliers within a month, better equipment at half the cost. The general made sure every contractor knew what happened to Thompson. Nobody tried to bribe him again. Here's what civilians don't understand about military power. A general isn't just an officer. On their base, they're essentially a feudal lord. They control everything: housing, food, medical care, law enforcement, even the airspace above their installation. They can order investigations, detain people, seize assets, restrict movement. They have their own police force, their own courts, their own prosecutors. When you commit a crime on a military base, you're not just breaking civilian law, you're challenging military authority. General Harrison used every tool at his disposal: military police, criminal investigators, intelligence analysts, legal officers. He turned the full power of the U.S. military against one corrupt businessman, and that businessman never had a chance. That's the power of a general. It's not just rank. It's an entire system of authority that most people never see, never understand, and definitely don't want to test. Thompson found out the hard way that there are still places in America where money can't buy your way out of trouble.